Algebra students. We are doing another lesson in Chapter 8 today, and we are in Section 8-3, and we are multiplying two binomials together in this set of notes. And what I'd like you to be able to do by the end of this lesson is to multiply two binomials together by using distributive property or by foiling. I just want to remind you what a binomial is real fast. A binomial is going to have two terms. So remember, bi, that prefix means two, like in bicycle, or I don't know, bicentennial, something like that. So bi means two. It's going to have two terms. So we're going to have two expressions with two terms in them, and we're going to want to multiply them together. For example, what if we have 2x plus 3 multiplied by 4x plus 5? This is different than what we've had before, because before all we've had would be like 2x multiplied by 4x plus 5. We only had one thing that we had to send across. But what happens when we have this example where we have two things that we need to send across the parentheses? So that is what we're going to talk about today. So one method that you can use to multiply these together is the distributive property. So let's break that down. In this example, if I'm taking 2x plus 3 multiplied by 4x plus 5, you're going to take your first term and multiply it across the parentheses. Then you're going to take your second term, the positive 3, and multiply it across the parentheses as well. Okay, now that you have it separated out, you're going to multiply. So this 2x multiplied by 4x gets you 8x squared, and 2x times 5 gets you 10x. And then we carry it down and we distribute the 3 across the second set of parentheses as well. Now I have 8x squared plus 10x plus 12x plus 15. Combine your like terms in the middle, and usually they will be in the middle next to each other, getting us our final expression. Once we have it there, it is multiplied out and we're done. We're going to do some examples together now. So in these four examples, it says use the distributive property to multiply the binomials. So step one, we're going to break this first part into two sections to multiply it by the back end. So this is going to be x times 4x plus 3. And then it's going to be minus 6 times 4x plus 3. The reason this is minus 6 is because of this minus right here. Now, for each individual term, I'm going to distribute that to the parentheses. So x times 4x is 4x squared, and x times 3 is 3x. Negative 6 times 4x is negative 24x, and negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. Now I'm going to combine any like terms, and I have like terms right here and right here. So let's add those, but keeping everything else the same. So I have 4x squared minus 21x minus 18. And this is my final solution. Let's do that again. So in example B, this x has to be distributed to both of these, and this negative 3 has to be distributed to both of these. So let's rewrite that so we can do it. It's going to be x and then parentheses x plus 5 minus 3 parentheses x plus 5 again. Now we've done this type of stuff before, so we're going to distribute the x across the x plus 5 and distribute the negative 3 across the x plus 5. So x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x. Negative 3 times x is minus 3x, and negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. At this point, I have like terms, so I want to combine those. If you're able to combine like terms, usually that's what you're going to do. So this is going to be x squared plus 2x minus 15. And now we're done. In example C, we're doing the same thing yet again. Don't let this 3x throw you off. It's okay that there's a number in front of it. I'm still taking 3x and multiplying it by the second set of parentheses, and I'm still taking the 1 and multiplying it by the second set of parentheses. So let's rewrite that. I'm going to have 3x times x plus 4 plus 1 times x plus 4. Now I'm ready to distribute. And we know that when we distribute, we have to apply rules of exponents. So when I take 3x times x, I'm going to get 3x squared. Because remember, when I have that invisible 1 as my exponents and I'm multiplying, I have to add the exponents. Now I'm taking 3x times 4, which is plus 12x. 1 times x is 1x. And 1 times 4 is 4. I have like terms right here and right here, so I want to combine those, and that is going to get me 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. For example D, I have negative 3x plus 9 multiplied by 2x minus 3. Okay, same process once again. I need to take this first term and distribute it across the parentheses, and take this second term and distribute it across the parentheses. So it's best to rewrite it so I'm able to see that easily. I'm going to have negative 3x parentheses 2x minus 3 plus 9 times 2x minus 3. When we distribute, we apply properties of exponents. So when I take negative 3 times 2, I get negative 6. And when I take x times x, I get x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, and I still have that x, so I've got the x on there. 9 times 2x is plus 18x, and 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. Now all I need to do is combine like terms. So I have negative 6x squared plus 27x minus 27. Remember, I'm not allowed to combine that any further because when adding and subtracting, I need to have like terms. And like terms are going to have the same variable and same exponent. So it's okay that your final answer looks a little strange. It's not what you're used to, but it's okay for it to be a polynomial for your answer. All right. Moving on to the back side of the page, we're doing the same exact type of example, but now this is just another strategy that you can use to multiply binomials together. This is the FOIL method. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. So notice first, outer, inner, last. What do we mean by first? So when we say first, we mean the first term in each set of parentheses. So 2x and 4x are the first ones. So I'm taking 2x multiplied by 4x. Then I'm going to take the outer terms. And so the outer terms are the furthest away. 2x and 5 are on the outsides of everything. So I'm going to multiply those two together. I then have the inner terms, which is 3 and 4x. These are on the inside, so that is going to be 12x. And then I have the last terms, meaning 3 and 5. What are the last terms in each set of parentheses? So when I do that, I'm still going to end up getting the same result as before. I'm going to multiply to get 4 terms, combine like terms in the middle, and then have this trinomial as my final answer. Let's do a couple examples using FOIL just so you can see it in action as well, and then you will get to choose whichever method makes most sense for you for the future. So it says use FOIL to multiply the binomials together. So I like to use arrows for this to kind of help me. So FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. I'll write that down again. first, outer, inner, and last. I accidentally put 2 T's in outer. I'll just make that a very large E. There we go. So first, that's going to be 3x times x. So that is 3x squared. Outer is going to be 3x times 2, which is plus 6x. Inner, is negative 4 times x. It's negative because of that minus sign in front, so that is minus 4x. And then last is going to be negative 4 times 2, which is minus 8. Alrighty, now I'm able to combine like terms. So 6x and negative 4 are like terms. And to rewrite this, I'm going to have 3x squared plus 2x minus 8 for that final answer on example A. Let's do that again for example B. I'm doing first terms first. So the first term of the first set of parentheses and the first term of the second set of parentheses is x times 4x. X times 4x is going to get me 4x squared. Then I'm doing outer. So x and negative 7 are on the outsides of everything. So x times negative 7 is minus 7x. Next, I'm doing inner terms. Negative 6 multiplied by 4x is minus 24x. And then I have last terms, negative 6 times negative 7. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive, so this is going to be plus 42. Okay, now we want to combine like terms yet again. So I'm going to have 4x squared minus 31x plus 42. All right, for the next example, we are doing the same thing again. This one does look a little different because it has an x squared in there, but we're still treating this the same way. First terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. So I'm going to have 2x squared times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4, and x squared times x is x cubed. 2x squared times negative 5 is going to be negative 10x squared, because 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, and tack your x squared on. I have inner terms next. 3 times 2x is plus 6x, and 3 times negative 5 is minus 15. In this example, we're not able to combine like terms because we don't have any expressions that have the same variable with the same exponents. So I'm just going to have to leave this separated out like this because none of the exponents for the variables match. So I'm not allowed to combine them by addition or subtraction. We have one more example of this style, then I'm going to show you one more type of problem, and then we'll be done. So we have 5x multiplied by x, which is going to give us 5x squared. 5x times 3 is 15x. Negative 2 times x is minus 2x, and negative 2 times 3 is minus 6. So I do have like terms in this one, so I'm going to combine those, and that's going to get me 5x squared plus 13x minus 6. Now in this last type of example, it says multiplying a polynomial by a binomial. Notice how in these examples, I have 2 terms in the first set of parentheses and 3 terms in the last set of parentheses. Again, over here, I have 2 terms and then 3 terms. In all of our other examples, I only had 2 terms and then 2 terms. So that's what makes these different. We're going to want to do this by distributive property. So I'm going to take this x and multiply it by everything, and then I'm going to take that minus 3 and multiply it by everything as well. So let's write that out. I have x parentheses 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, and then I'm going to have minus 3 parentheses, 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. All I did was break this first binomial up into its two parts, and I'm multiplying it by each set. So now I need to distribute this x, and I need to distribute this 3. So let's do that now. X times 2x squared. If you need to put your invisible 1 up there to remind you that there is an exponent on it, then you can. So x times 2x squared is going to be 2x cubed, because remember, when multiplying, we add exponents. I'm going to write that down up here just to remind you. When multiplying, add exponents. All right. Then we have x multiplied by negative 3x. There's an exponent of 1 right there, so this is going to be minus 3x squared. And then x times 1 is just plus x. Now I'm taking this negative 3 and distributing it across the parentheses. So this is going to be minus 6x squared plus 9x minus 3. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3x is positive 9x, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And then negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. All right, look for your like terms. I don't have anything that I can combine with this 2x cubed, so I'm going to carry it down. Then I have negative 3x squared, and that can be combined with this negative 6x squared. So that's going to combine to get me minus 9x squared. Next, I have positive x and positive 9x. Well, x plus 9x gets me 10x, and then I still have this minus 3 on the end, so I need to tack that onto the end for my final answer. All right, we have one more example, and then we are done with these set of notes. I am multiplying these two terms across all 3 of these. So what I need to do is take this x and multiply it by everything, and take this 5 and multiply it by everything. So let's write that out so we make sure that we don't miss anything. So it's going to be x parentheses x squared minus 3x plus 1 plus 5 times x squared minus 3x plus 1. All right, now we want to distribute this x across the parentheses, and we want to distribute this 5 across the parentheses as well. When we do that, I'm going to get x cubed. I get x cubed because this x right here has a 1 exponent, and 1 plus 2 gets me 3. When multiplying, add exponents. Then I'm going to have minus 3x squared plus x. Now take this 5 and distribute it across this set of parentheses. So this is going to be plus 5x squared minus 15x plus 5. Now I'm just looking for like terms, and then I'll be done. I can combine this negative 3x squared with this positive 5x squared, and I can also go ahead and pull down this x cubed. So I have x cubed, and then combine these two, which is going to be plus 2x squared, because negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2. I'm keeping the exponents the same because I'm adding. And then I have positive x and minus 15x, which will be negative 14x. And then I still have this plus 5 that I need to tack on to the end yet again. And there's my solution. We'll be practicing with this in class tomorrow, so if you have questions, please feel free to ask them, and I hope you have a good night.